Hello,
No.
welcome to Rhymes with Play. We got a big show today. I'm Jarrett. I'm a designer on Oxygen Not Included.
And I'm Erica. I'm one of the artist animators.
So we're going to do a double feature today. We're going to talk about our new DLC we've released. And Erica is going to join me for that. We'll talk about some of the art. At some point, we'll do a swap. We'll get Eric in here. We'll chat about design and programming a bit. And then we'll do another swap after that. And we'll get Jamie on here, and we'll talk about Away Team, which I won't talk about now.
Gotta wait for that one.
Yeah, whew. So big week for us. We did just put out this new DLC yesterday, the Prehistoric Planet Pack. It is also Klei Fest, which means we're hyping up all of our products. I think for now, we get into ONI, we launch up Prehistoric, check out the new stuff.
There's lots of new stuff.
Bunch of dinosaurs.
Yeah. Lots of new ores, lots of new everything.
Yeah. New plants, new
yeah.
dinos, new asteroids,
new biomes, new dangers.
New existential threat. Yeah. In particular, what I want to do is check out that new lab asteroid.
Oh, yes. The imminent danger.
The way harder, virtually impossible thing. Yeah. If you had played along in our beta for this DLC, you're familiar with the premise of like, there's dinosaurs, but also there's the big rock coming out of the sky that's going to end those dinosaurs. But additionally, you've got like a good, healthy amount of time to try and shoot that rock out of the sky. Not so with the variant we released with the full release of Prehistoric Planet Pack. That thing says like, no, you're getting hit by this giant asteroid, and the challenge is to live with it, to live with the implications of that, which I think makes great TV. So we're going to put that on the stream to do that.
The chaos.
Let's get that queued up.
Actually played this. I've been too scared to try.
You want to get in here and have it? It's not like I'm going to succeed, so.
I'm too scared to have that much pressure of impending doom.
Well, that's my weakness. I'm going to lose. I also have the impending doom, but I guess I'm not scared.
Let's go for it.
So it's not going to be in here in Classic or Spaced Out. It's hidden in the lab here. We are playing, by the way, with Spaced Out, but that's not technically required. If you wanted to grab the Prehistoric Planet Pack, but you didn't have Spaced Out, that works too. Any combination of these various DLC packs works okay. Let me get that audio down a little bit. We do have some cool music in here.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's okay. All right.
We'll come a little closer to the mics too. There we go.
All right. Turn it down a bit. Let me know if it's still too loud. We'll go Prehistoric Planet Pack in the lab, and we will find not the Relica, but the Relica cluster, which is aptly named because we're gonna get bonked by Demolior, the asteroid, real quick.
Someone wants to name their dupe Dr. Ian Malcolm.
Nice.
I did do some character designs kind of based around him, but we were like, might be a little too close to the Jurassic Park IP. Let's
You know, that's a really interesting thing that happens a lot. I mean, you can probably guess, but like, you're making a dinosaur themed thing, your mind is gonna jump to Jurassic Park a lot. And you got to decide how much
inspiration you're gonna take.
How much do you embrace? How much do you deliberately steer clear? And like, I don't think our IPs are hugely incompatible, but there are differences. The other one in that sense was the Flintstones.
Yes.
And it's like, your mind goes there, and you want to leverage it. Also, it's Oxygen Not Included, where you build electrolyzers and electrical systems and pumps and diamond presses and this, that, and the other, and rocket ships, and it's like,
a little more advanced than the Flintstones.
Okay, right off the bat, we got some new duplicants.
Yeah.
Chip here's from our previous DLC, but more importantly, get out of here, Chip. We got Higby and we got Maya.
Our first mustached dude.
Mustache too.
I think Nabia did some mustache concepts like a couple of years back that we never even implemented, but we were definitely playing around with it, and it always kind of hung in the back of our folders and our concepts for a while, and I thought, you know what? Let's do it.
Now's the time.
We need a bald dupe. We need some bold representation here. So he's not
because he's prehistoric or anything. It's not that.
Yeah. We just need a little more variation in our dupes here. And then Maya, she's just got cool hair. So I just wanted somebody with some cool hair. She's got it pulled back so she can do science efficiently. They're kind of like archaeologists a little bit in a way, so
yeah,
inspired.
Now we can't not take them because they're the new duplicants here. The dice roll wasn't really good for the task at hand.
Yeah, can't do digging
errands. So without spoiling too much, I happen to be aware that this new asteroid contains a very imminent threat. Big old Demoliar is going to come crashing into us. Digging's probably going to be important for getting away from that, but I'm committed to we're keeping Higby. It's just going to be a little rough.
Maybe he'll be useful in other ways. You never know.
Other ways.
He's looking a little clueless right now.
Okay, we can compensate though. Maybe we'll get a
good digger. Yeah.
Now that's an approach we could take.
Okay.
We could go bionic. I'm going to skip that though because they have extra requirements too. What I'd really like... I'm probably overthinking this. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
We'll take a stinky. Acting like I actually stand a chance, and I just did forget that. Okay, we'll go with this. And it's okay if Maya hurts once or twice. That's okay. That's okay. That happens to the best of us.
It's fine. She's going to be doing science.
All right. Collision in 10 cycles. And eruption of all geysers surrounding our landing site. There's a lot of them. Initiate survival procedures immediately. Will do. Thank you. Right off the bat, you can see we have got a whole new starting biome. We got new elements here. We got shale. We got all kinds of new plants. We got new printing pod. Lots of stuff. And there'll be tons to see. I'm at some point probably going to crack out the debug tools just so we can get enough view of this stuff. Yeah. We only have an hour or so today, so we'll have to cheat a little bit.
Oh, mine's already short.
Anticipatory. Okay. First thing I got to do is check this out down here, the research portal. That's going to give us a little context for what's going on. So I'm going to chart the course for getting down there. On that path, I'm going to dig through a lot of shale, which is a raw mineral. We can build a lot of tiles and basic stuff out of that. So I'll build my ladders out of that as I go. Also, we'll go down here. Past nickel ore, new metal in this biome. Heat, very important resource. So this is the prehistoric planet pack. So some of those fossil fuels, I like to imagine that some of the fossil fuels that would otherwise be powering your colony aren't around yet. So we're not going to find the coal, but we find peat. We can burn peat in a sort of similar way to coal, but different generator building. So I'm going to be collecting that.
Higby's already just waiting. You guys dig. I'll collect some stuff over here.
Nice. Yeah.
Smell this flower.
We'll grab these up here. Get a little food. Snack this. Single harvest. We'll come back to these ones later. What I wanted to mention though, on the subject of peat, there's a bit of it around here, but also we need a renewable source of that. And we might just have one in our friend up here, the mighty Lum. Dino number 1, big boy Lum.
Stegosaurus inspired, but leafy-ish appendages. instead of scales.
I love that. I love the overall overgrown vibe. Like, you know, we call this the garden biome we're in right now. Higby.
How did you get up there, dude?
Yeah. So the garden biome, lots of greenery, lots of vines, lots of overgrown stuff. And that transfers into the lum here. The lum will eat the fruit of the overgrown node and the overgrown vines once they are ready. And in exchange for that delicious fruit, the lum will give us some delicious peat, which we can throw in peat generator for power.
I do remember when we were talking about the lum, and you really wanted me to make sure that attention was drawn to the fact that the lum is producing peat. So I believe you gave me the example of hippos whipping their tails around and flicking their poop everywhere. Like, is there something similar we can do with the lum to draw attention to the fact that it's producing peat? And I was like, I know just the thing.
And I think you know that, by the way. Let's see if we can get this guy some food so we can see that. But yeah, you know, they're a big critter, and this is the kind of stuff that comes up on design on ONI a lot. It's like, big critter, very important resource transaction. They're giving me a critical resource for power on this asteroid. I need the player to know that.
Yeah.
And if that means they need an over-the-top pooping animation where
we're gonna give it to them.
Yeah, you know, we'll get some sound in there, we'll get some animation in there, and big piece of peat, you know, gotta do what you gotta do.
Some leg kicking action. He's getting worse.
Okay. Maybe somebody can, you can help yourself out, get some.
Oh boy.
All right, how we doing down here? Yeah, we need oxygen. I know we need oxygen. I know we need toilets. I know we need beds and all that good stuff. There's just an important thing we gotta do first. So I'm gonna
figure out the mission first,
yeah.
guys.
What else we got going on here? Well, we can't ignore the Mimica.
Ooh, yeah.
Mimica is a critter, also a plant. This butterfly, this Mimica, comes from the Mimica bud. You grow that like a plant, and the plant grows the critter, which harvests and flies around and pollinates plants for you. So, when it pollinates these plants, some of them actually require pollination, others just get a benefit from it. So in particular, this sweat corn, which is going to be a nice food source for me later on, it requires the Mimica pollination, or pollination by some critter. Easiest in this case would be the Mimica. So you get a nice kind of harmony going on here, where if you can grow some Mimica next to your sweat corn, they'll support each other.
It's quite a different creature than what we've done as well, being that it kind of grows from a plant rather than hatching from an egg like all the other creatures. So I remember there was a lot of design work that kind of went into that, and kind of new tech that Nana had to kind of work with to get that to work. But I think it's so different, but it's so cool that it does do that, because I don't know, I just like seeing the plant grow and then all of a sudden it's like a butterfly.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, right? Okay, here we are. Research portal unlock. Let's see what we got going on here. Of course, the duplicate furthest from the job has assumed the
Don't worry, guys, I got this.
Are you sure, Stinky?
I'm on my way.
All right, you insist.
Got it. I think he deserves it. He's worked hard. Taking in all that knowledge.
Yeah.
He's absorbing
I was
all
supposed
that
to explain that one.
good vibes.
We've just decrypted the research portal's final transmission, and it is that there is a big old asteroid going to crash into us. It's going to automatically unlock the blast shot maker and the meteor blaster, as if I had some chance of stopping this thing. But again, on this, and you do it on the main line, but on this variant asteroid in the lab, not so much. So thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
This thing's going to hit us.
This whole sequence is so cool. Oh.
9.3 cycles. And all this is toast.
No.
Okay, we gotta save this guy. Here we go. Demoliar impact, 9.3 cycles.
That's the new mission.
Save the loam. There's no way I'm going to be able to get ranching in time for that. Maybe just in time, but
Yeah.
I have a better idea. I'm gonna cut the floor out. We're gonna.
I just let him fall.
We're gonna. Yeah. Okay, no problem. We got that. We're gonna get that guy.
Got it.
Oh, but I gotta be careful. I gotta do this carefully.
He'll
Okay.
be fine.
What we probably don't have time for is eating. So what's the move here? Okay, so this is all toast.
Yeah.
And that thing's gonna blow up all this space. But it's gonna bring like the leading edge of that impactor is gonna be really hot too. So collateral damage, you know.
Where can we?
You just dig down. We could try to relocate to a colder biome, perhaps.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do some exploratory digging over here. I may grant myself some debug tools or some sandbox tools so I can get some stuff on stream here. I'm just gonna reveal some stuff. Talk about a plan.
Not gonna be able to get everything in 10 cycles before it goes.
Yeah. I'm just gonna use the reveal tool. Here's one approach we could take. We could try and find a colder biome. We're currently in the garden. That's the new starting biome on this asteroid. But we have the feather biome down here, which is way colder, super cold. Maybe a good place to hide out from a boiling magma asteroid. Downside here, got some chlorine gas atmosphere. We got some new critters we'd have to deal with here too. Notably the Rex. I love this guy. This is like, this is our first foray into predators.
Yes.
The Rex here will try to munch on Mr. Dartle. Not particularly good at it, but could occasionally. The poor guy's actually trapped. The world gen has not been friendly to them.
No wonder he's upset.
He's a little upset.
Like, get me out of here.
Yeah. Good for our purposes, though. So the way this biome kind of works is a bit of a ecosystem, circle of life kind of thing going on here. We've got our Rex, of course, our big predator. Rex is hungry for meat, though perhaps not so good at catching it. And the Rex will, if they do get themselves a meal, they will give us a little bit of brine ice. So like really salty water, really salty frozen water. That's their byproduct. It's their excretion. They also have feathers, as you can see, which are shearable. So we could get some feather from them, which can be our substitute for reed fiber in this asteroid. That's a ways down the road, though, if you had them domesticated and you had a ranch going on. I don't. I'm not going to get that. But Rex eats dartles, these ceiling crawling, I guess delicious critters, who themselves like to eat from the dewdripper plants, or more specifically the fruit of the dewdripper. So this dewdripper plant will grow a dewdrip. The dartles will harvest that automatically. Kind of clumsily, they'll knock it down on the ground and then they'll go eat it off the floor, giving Rex a chance to take a swing at them. It's kind of like a sloth, so I hear they only come down from their tree to eat. That's when they're the most vulnerable, or maybe it's the poop. Anyway, they like to stay in the tree, but they have to come down for some important bodily function.
Sloths, yeah.
So we take some inspiration from kind of that circle.
Remember Corey's concept art for like the predator creature where it was just so compelling that I think it got all of the rest of us artists really into the dinosaur aspect of it. Because we were like, whoa, yeah, okay, we're gonna have a predator creature like having like a little raptor-like Rex. That's gonna be really neat. And then having his little concepts of like the little creature that it goes after as well. We were like, oh,
Yeah.
everything works together. which is very exciting. I think we all love dinosaurs, so working on this was really inspiring for all of us on the art team. So the ideas came fast and quick.
Yeah, design too. I'm glad to hear that about the art
Yeah.
team too. Like, I think that when we landed on this theme for this next for this planet pack, a lot of things just kind of started
Fell
to
into
play.
place. Yeah, because we were concepting and kind of just concepting this or that, and didn't really quite know where we were going to go yet. And then as soon as you kind of pulled us over to your computer and you were like, here's what I'm thinking. Prehistoric, dinosaurs. We were like, ooh. And instantly we just kind of went back to our desks and we're like, okay, oh yeah, okay, we're going to draw this and that. And then I think Eric even said like, oh yeah, it would be cool to have a stegosaurus creature. I'm like, this is my favorite dinosaur. Yeah. So then I started.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was very easy to concept for this one, I feel. So it was very satisfying to get finished. So
It always feels good.
mm-hmm.
Turtle here will leave us some chunks of bleachstone, and that bleachstone will off-gas chlorine, which will feed my megafrond. Big plant. This is kind of a new thing too. It's not quite as
Too wide.
yeah. It's 3. It's even larger. Yeah, and like this took a lot of work. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Also, we had to challenge some assumptions on plants too about their size, at least in the code.
Oh yeah, it is 3 wide.
Yeah, it's a big guy. So they grow food similar to the sleep wheat from the base game, and you can actually substitute that in a lot of the recipes. I can just find an example of that quickly. Like, if I somehow had an electric grill here in this chlorine gas cloud, oh darn, just cheat for a second. So if I was looking at like these pancakes, for example, normally these are made from raw egg and sleep wheat grain. You don't find those. You don't find the sleep wheat grain on this asteroid, but you can just sub in megafron grain, and that'll work as well. This is all kind of neat.
Yeah, it's all this new UI. It's really easy to kind of select your ingredients now. I like that.
Totally.
Ooh, Jesse wants to know what's the biggest dinosaur influences for you guys. Ooh. For me, it's always Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
I think is the big one. Maybe some, I don't know, there's some older cartoons like Denver the Last Dinosaur that I would think about sometimes when I was drawing. But I'm like, I don't want it to be like super dinosaur. It has to be a little cartoony. So, a guitar playing dinosaur that is unfrozen by a bunch of teenage kids. I'm like, yeah, I can draw some parallels with that, sure.
Nice, yeah. Yeah, I was thinking a lot about that on this DLC. Like, where does the love? Where does just the innate love for them come from? And I couldn't really put my finger on it, but like I did think a lot back to family vacations we took as a kid, and like passing through Alberta and going through. So really amazing dinosaur museum there that left a mark on it. Yeah,
I think I've been to the same one.
Yeah. But I haven't been back as an adult, and I'm like, that's why I got to do this summer, right?
I even played that. I even played that video game Ark Survival Evolved, and you basically like collect dinosaurs. And my job, because we had our own server, was to log in and feed all the dinosaurs before going to bed at night. It was like because the game would run even when you were not playing, so you had to keep them fed. So I would kind of like jump in and make sure they had enough meat, and then I would go to bed in real life and be like, okay, night dinosaurs.
I think also the dinosaurs on this asteroid, or on this, in our interpretation here, like, we allowed them to, this one's covered in colorful feathers, this one's more like, out of your old school dinosaur picture book, Stegosaurus, and like, we just allowed ourselves to like interpret it in both ways. And you can do stuff that's more bird-like, you can do more reptile-like, and
even the Dartle is kind of triceratops, but he's got only 2 legs.
That's right, yeah.
You can tell that the gravitas scientists were getting a little mixy with their genetic ooze.
Or they just like, or they the classic thing of like they found the bones in the ground and were like, go together like this.
I think that's actually happened with some actual dinosaurs.
No doubt it, yeah.
There's apparently no such thing as a brontosaurus. That was, yeah, it was two different dinosaurs that they accidentally mixed up the bones from. So, too bad, brontosaurus. You used to be everyone's favorite, but you're not anymore.
I did forget that there was a ticking clock.
Oh yeah,
It's a giant meteor coming to get us.
It is scary how it gets bigger, because even playing...
You can see it, right? Like
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that is still going to hit us. And we still got to rescue our buddy here.
He's still screwed. The dupes are peeing everywhere.
Right, I didn't even go to 12. That's okay. We'll get through this. Yeah. I'm cheating. I'm absolutely cheating. Okay, sandbox tools off.
Okay. He's slightly out of danger. He might get a little warm.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, I gotta be a little surgical about this. We'll save Micah's. Okay, we'll come back. One more thing I want to show off here. So we got that raptor biome adjacent to our garden biome. We also have here the new wetlands biome.
Pesky little guys over in this biome here.
Yeah. These are our mosquitoes. And this kind of comes with the dinosaur theme too. Like, you know, they're not a big reptile or a bird, but like, and I guess it's a Jurassic Park too.
Yeah.
But you can't help but think about like the mosquito trapped in amber. So this is our version of that, the net. They will indeed bite duplicants or critters. It's not too bad, they'll survive. But they also, they're weird in a few ways. Like, you notice these eggs they lay, they land in the polluted water. This is inspired by the super gross real life cycle of mosquitoes.
We did real research, guys.
Their young do begin underwater, and they're aquatic, and then at some point they
hatch.
Yeah.
Become the annoying pests that we know today.
So we were like, that's gross, let's put it in the game.
Give us all the gross things.
And then on top of that, the Lura plant here is a carnivorous plant. Everything eats everything in this DLC. And it'll eat the mosquitoes, and will produce some amber for me, which is a resource I can use later down the road.
I saw a big guy over there.
Oh yeah, can't forget about Jawbo. You can probably guess that the Jawbo is going to eat the Pacu. This big scary fish will take a swing at the Pacu. That's what he lives on. And he will poop out some rust.
Ooh, that doesn't sound...
Not fun, right? Yeah, you don't envy that. Rust, of course, has a lot of iron in it, so that can be a useful resource transition later on. Also, you can get oxygen out of that if you're clever. So those are our big 3 new biomes in this DLC. We've got our
beautiful garden.
Yeah, garden, our feather biome, and our wetlands. And then, of course, the other big feature is this big old asteroid coming to bonk us.
It just keeps getting bigger.
Erica, we're getting pretty close to our swap time already. Is there any art here that we got to talk about?
We also have new outfits, new Atmos skins.
Let's check those out.
New paintings.
Let's see. Of course, I could look at them in the supply closet. We could check out these. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
New Atmos suits to match the new critters.
They're so awesome. Navia just went ham on doing all the dinos. They're so good. So good.
We've also got some...
we have a little explorer outfit.
Yeah, these are very cute.
Yeah. As you can see from the short, they featured prominently.
Like Higby, yeah. Higby in one of those.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
It's so cute.
We got some new, what else we got here? New art buildings here.
Well, the new fossil.
The fossils, the smoker. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll swap in for Eric, but we'll still check those out.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining.
Yes. Enjoy, everybody.
We'll head back here for a sec.
Yes. And then that. And then.
Okay.
Correct.
See you, Erica. Hello.
Hello. What happened here?
We're not doing so well. I think we might be in a little bit of trouble. Yeah, this is Eric.
Hi, I'm Eric, designer, programmer on ONI. I go by Klei, or Eric Klei in the forums. You might have seen my muckroot.
That's right.
Fun fact, that was like technically the first screenshot of Spaced Out. Just really zoomed in.
Am I right to think that you are responsible for? Oh,
I don't take any responsibility
let me
for
get
this.
this going. This situation, this lab. Yeah, I'll own my failure to deal with it. But the fact that I had 10 cycles, man. Oh boy.
Yeah, that was an interesting number to arrive at and play test. Yeah, I've been doing these lab asteroids. They're like kind of the what if you go by like the Marvel ideas of like, okay, we have this crazy idea. Let's put it out there and see. You know, it's a bit different. It's a bit challenging. I think this is quite challenging. And 10 cycles, like what can you do? Like, what do you think you can do?
Run. I can run. That's what
You can run.
Yeah. My efforts have been. Oh no! I was about to say my efforts have been invested in saving this lum.
Try it. You can try it. I think you got some time.
I'll let him out. Okay.
Or, you know, you could prepare for the inevitable or just ignore it, you know?
Yeah.
It was really, you know, neat trying to speed run, like, you know, researching insulated tiles.
Right.
Trying to bury it. There were some people on the team that were, like, trying to exploit different properties of elements to kind of create vacuums when some tiles melt before others.
Clever.
And
We could make like a vacuum barrier
Yeah.
between the
Yeah.
impact site. Yeah.
except all the tiles melted, so that was a fun disaster.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people on the team were just like, you know, it's 10 cycles. Like, I'm going to see where I can get. And, you know, I was surprised even for such a challenging start, how many people are just like, yeah, I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
So I encourage everybody to try it. It's 10 cycles and you'll know.
And you know, even the non-10 cycle version, like the 200 cycles is the default. You can turn it all the way off if you're really not into it. But like the standard regular relic asteroid, you got 200 cycles. That's that's gonna be a challenge still.
Yeah. It's, you definitely have to be more focused. You can't spend 50 cycles building wallpaper tiles, you know, which I sometimes do. Yeah, it's been a lot more focused. You know, we've been seeing like amazing, you know, we had a public testing period for 3 weeks before this, and like the amount of people that have actually like reached a cycle 200 and like either dealt with it or not
Yeah.
is remarkable. Like
Yeah.
we've seen people like in the weekend just like do it 3 times. Like that's incredible.
We were worried. This is so we as you said, 3 weeks. We have 3 weeks of beta, and I was worried at least that we weren't going to get feedback on the Molior here, because you got to play 200 cycles. That takes a while, right? But you know, we came back from the first weekend, and people had beat it 3 times in a row or been hit by it. Like, you know, no problem. So I apologize for underestimating our beta testers there.
Yeah, and just like seeing people's bases and all the feedback on the forums and Discord, you know, it's been like, wow, this is cool. You know, people are really engaged with it. There's certainly a risk, you know, like this is a game that's about building, and you know, like blowing up somebody's base,
Right.
is pretty mean. And like, so you know, how mean can we be? Of course, you know, we added difficulty settings, and you know, we're saying, hey, hurry up. Maybe don't take as long on dealing with some little problems, and making sure you focus on defeating that asteroid.
Yeah, indeed. Here I am building a base that is like,
You gonna get some toilets?
yeah. I want them to get one last, you know, get to go in peace one more time. But this is tough, you know. Like this is gonna get blown up, right? And I didn't know how people were going to take that. Also, if you're the kind of player who is able to blow up that meteor before it gets to you by building those missiles, there's got to be some compelling reason, right? Like, what's in it for you to, other than avoiding, getting blown up? What's the reward? What's the carrot? We had to come up with compelling reasons to blow this thing up.
Yeah, and there's some resources in space, quite generous amount actually. Renewable. There's some challenges involved with harvesting them, but we're not going to see it here. But there's also some strategy of like, where do you blow it up? Because that's where you're going to get those resources. So you want to cut it close and hope for the best, or shoot it at a safer distance.
Yeah. Or go completely the other way. Let the resources come to you. Intentionally allow it to crash into you, but try to mine the thing after it's hit.
Eric is wondering if we could, save our fellow Lum there.
This fella?
Yeah.
All right. How am I going to get you out of this? I'm just going to go like this. It's all going to go. Maybe we can
Build a ladder, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, on this too.
Prioritizing Lum safety over duplicates,
We gotta save the Lum. Completely unrelated, I do want to research this new building that we've added called the Smoker, which can produce a lot of tender meat from these dinosaurs.
Yeah, they give you a lot. And
Not this one. We'll find a different one.
not this one.
Safe. And then if I had been thinking ahead, I could build those insulated tiles here and maybe protect myself.
One of the other aspects of this lab start is it's geoactive. It's always geoactive, which means additional 4 geysers, and also volcanoes. But we also kind of mixed in some geysers actually in the starting biome, which is the first time we've actually done this.
Yeah.
So there's 4 of them. There's a volcano, which probably you want to deal with before it lands. Maybe, I don't. I just walked into this room and the base was like this.
You didn't. It was Erica actually. This is her.
Oh yeah. There is a cool slush geyser, so there's something you can maybe rely on. Natural gas geyser and gold volcano. So, I think there's like a question of what do you prioritize? The impactor, the demolitor coming in, having your duplicates survive, dealing with the immediate threats, usually kind of down below. I certainly prioritized, succeeding on insulated tiles everywhere, and then all the duplicates died because I didn't prioritize anything.
Oh, like
For me, no,
putting those into
no bathrooms, no bedrooms, everything, and it was a mess, and it went downhill. I find like the more experienced you are on this game, the more likely you're going to probably fail the first attempt at this because you're really fixated on succeeding in a certain way.
If your build pattern or something.
And it's interesting that people on our team that I think have done the best have just built a regular base and kind of dealt with consequences as they came. So I don't know. Like the answer is I'm hoping to see some strategy guides. So I'm really curious what the community comes up with. I've certainly seen comments in the chat and like online, of people like really succeeding at even shooting this down in like 70 cycles. I saw in the chat here.
In the
I mean, I don't think anybody's going to succeed at 10.
Yeah, but you can still succeed on this cluster. Like we're going to get hit, but the real challenge here is to survive after the hit.
That's right.
100 cycles, right?
Yeah. And so we did something neat. I'm going to just grab this here with the colony summary. So normally you have an imperative that we added for the regular Relica asteroids, which is shooting it down. But that doesn't make sense here. So what we did is we added a a new one, which is to survive 100 cycles after the impact with 0 duplicate deaths in the colony.
Nice.
And that can be a challenge. We'll see how people.
I'm well
do.
on my way to that.
Yeah.
Here. No problem, man.
We probably should have said no lum deaths. Right.
Yeah, that'd be its own achievement, hey? Hey, there's a question. Interesting. Zergologist is asking, will we also get morphs for these prehistoric critters? I'm not going to promise anything. I don't want to promise anything. But I like the question.
Yeah.
We're certainly thinking about that. I like the idea that as our game evolves, we can fit stuff back in like that. So, Anna says a lot about Stegomorph. Finn says a lot about a Rexmorph. Can't promise anything, but believe me, on our minds.
Yeah, sometimes it is just, do we have the time before release? No? Okay, maybe after, right? And, that's the thing. Like, we've added to the Frosty Planet pack with the Regal Mammoth morph. Even in this update, we've like been making some improvements to Bionics breathing and the morale that you get from changing a battery at the table.
Yes.
So we're constantly thinking about everybody's feedback and really appreciate all of it.
Yeah, totally. It's always heartwarming to see people engaging with the content. ONI is such a mess.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little farm going on cycle 7. I'll start thinking about
absolutely. Well, like, what do you think? Like, what kind of farm do you build? Like, there's actually quite a few options in the garden here.
Yeah, so I always approached it with the sweat corn. That was always my crop of choice, but I'm wondering if I'm actually wrong in that, like, because the mimica is also makes edible seed, right? So maybe I should be making those.
Yeah, it's not directly edible, but you can fry it up on the electric grill.
Right.
Definitely seen people on our team exclusively. That's how they feed their dupes.
Oh yeah.
Different strategies. Some people going for all achievement runs.
Well, I'm going to need some mimica in this farm anyway, because I'll need to pollinate the sweat corn.
Yeah, the mimica and lum are just like a continuation of something that was started and spaced out with like the grub and sweetle. These like critters that help you, they're companion critters, they help you farm, and so it's been this like gradual thing that we've been building for years. Even like the cuddle pit kind of is in that same vein of just like helping out. I'm trying to be helpful. I'm gonna help you hatch eggs.
Yeah, not all critters are about. Most of our critters are about their poop. Some of them are about their meat, but not all, right?
Yeah, some provide some really cool utility.
Yeah.
The lum in particular has been like super well received. I mean, I think they generally all have in this update.
I think so.
Yeah, but like and then it just happened to be the lum was like featured in the short a lot. So
feels wrong to bring another duplicate into this colony.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take a piece of sandstone. I will use my debug tools again here just to get some stuff.
Yeah,
I do genuinely want to show off the smoker.
It's a cool building.
And show it off. I gotta clean the floor. Big food fabricator. And this is relevant because it consumes very large volumes of ingredients in its recipes. So tender brisket here, for example. I'm gonna need a lot of tough meat, but it's gonna make like 16,000 kcal of tender brisket. And where can I get a lot of meat?
Not there.
Not there. That's not where it comes from. Stegos the Stegosaurus, the lum, I should say, and the Rex here, they can both be sources of tough meat, which is not edible on its own, but if you can get it into that smoker, you can make tender brisket and get a lot of kcal out of it. You can also smoke fish, which could be either pacu or our friend the Jabo we saw over there, wherever they are. There they are. And you can make a highly preserved, long-lasting food. And then if you're going veggie, you can make veggie poppers. So I could, for example, smoke the sweat corn and maximize the kcal of that and increase the quality.
And just talking about the veggie poppers, like there are alternative recipes, and like we've been doing more alternative recipes for
Yes.
not for the purpose of you playing on this asteroid, but if you're mixing in other asteroids like Frosty. And like surprisingly, I think people are embracing it. Mixing, and I think it's a lot of fun. Certainly has some implementation challenges of literally fitting everything in.
Bit of a project.
Bit of a project, and how does it work? Well, it finds a way, or it says try again.
But it's cool that you get to use this content, like this smoker, for example. It's definitely part of this DLC, and it works really well on these new starting asteroids. But if you went back to, for example, the Frosty Planet Pack, or even the Terra asteroid from the base game, you could build the smoker, and you could, mix in, for example, I could smoke the Paku. And then in the case of veggie poppers, I'd need spaced out for the grub fruit.
Pike apple, you'll need
Frosty.
Frosty, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some intentionality of, making sure these things can get used in different places.
Mm-hmm. I think we didn't really talk too much about the overgrow.
Yeah, good point.
So this was like our first kind of foray into a really sprawling plant. We've done a multi-part, plant before, the arbor tree, well loved. This is taking it longer. The question is, how long is long? And and in both cases, like on both sides of the overgrown node, it's 12 on each side. So like they'll wrap around doors and.
So this vine, if I were to give it some more space, it could grow longer.
Exactly.
It could take up more. The requirements of this plant stay the same. I have to water the node, the root, but I can get more and more vine and more fruit for the same cost.
Exactly. And then, if you partner this with Mimicas to make them grow faster, you're even more efficient. And this is what our friend there, not our food, likes to eat. Hopefully he's rescued by now.
He's safe.
Okay.
Totally safe. He better be, because then he's going to.
And Stego, the big thing is they help stomp and harvest plants.
Let's see if I can. Let's just suppose. We'll show that off. Let's suppose we had a lum here. Yeah. Oh, let's get it.
Oh, there he goes. We wanted to make that really expressive. We got the sound waves. Erica was doing that. It was interesting to do a baby critter for this to make it look like a baby, but also like a large critter. Yeah.
Right, like a baby lum, a lumlet, is larger than a fully grown hatch, probably. Right? Yeah. While we're at it, let's check out the baby Rex.
Oh, it left.
Oh, there's the Rex.
There's
egg.
the egg.
Yeah.
That looks really cool. The Rex baby. It's
so good. So good.
There's some balloon skins that we put in last minute. I'm looking at some feedback about the love for balloon skins that we're like, okay, yeah, we have to do this. So we did it.
What else we got here? Of course, some new Prehistoric Planet Pack cosmetics.
Yeah, I think that's for the short.
Mm-hmm. And got this one too, of course. Love that. These are cool. The fossil sculptures. So this is the new building entirely, but it has a few variant skins as well. You can build these out of fossil. New monument top. We did some Prehistoric Planet Pack themed buildings.
This is one of my favorites.
Plant pulverizer with the lum. Good old manual generator.
There's like so much energy when an artist will post one of these, and the whole team's like, that looks amazing, we want this,
Massage table. Yeah, lots of fun new stuff there too. And all those new cosmetics, you don't have to wait for them in drops. You just get those automatically when you get the Prehistoric Planet Pack. Well, what do you think?
I think you're not ready.
I'm not ready.
But we're ready to see you being not ready.
Not long now. Some other new stuff we did during this update cycle, but actually didn't go in this DLC, it just went for free into the base game. We have in here a new building, and it's kind of later in the tech tree, so I'm going to have to cheat to get it. What I'm looking for is the emulsifier. Have I passed it? There it is.
There it is, yeah.
The emulsifier. So this is like... it can make some super materials. It can make some non-super materials too, but it's a very liquid-based fabricator. The emulsifier has liquid input and liquid outputs. There we go. We need a scaled duplicate to operate it too. A little bit sciencey.
There's a lot of tapes and everything. Animation's really cool.
It's an input. We'll need some output for our products, which I'm just gonna pour on the floor for now because I just don't care anymore.
I think it's gonna get a lot more wet, the floor.
We moved some old recipes here too, like super coolant and visco gel. They're now produced here instead of on the molecular forge. But these are new. Well, we added a recipe for salt water. Again, this is available in the base game. Biodiesel. This is new, and you can produce biodiesel, which is petroleum alternative in some capacity from phyto oil and bleach stone. Particularly useful in this context, even though this is a base game building, because if I was earnestly trying to shoot down that Demolier asteroid, I'd need some propellant for my blast shot, and normally that would be petroleum, but biodiesel can work in a pinch.
You can take a look at the blaster on the surface if you want to check out some of that stuff.
Yeah, let's make a defiant last stand. Let's get a couple shots on
shot,
the thing.
Right?
Let's see. So I'll reveal some of the space, and let's just pretend that I had dug this area out. Missile factory going on here. We'll get ourselves a blast shot maker. There's our meteor blaster we're gonna feed. And we'll need some power for that thing. Imagine I had a big power infrastructure going on here.
Right there. That's where you'd build it. Absolutely.
Where do you build yours? Okay. We will need some plumbing. We'll need to connect biodiesel production with this giant pipe all the way up there. And of course we need a duplicate to do the making. Higby! Higby! No sleeping.
It's sleeping. Red alert. You can't sleep anymore.
Yeah, this is an important task. So I'm not making blast shot, I'm making intracosmic blast shot. These are the ones that I can shoot at Demolior there. And I'll queue up some of those with the available resources. I'll need some refined metal. I'll need some bustable thing. I'll use the peat
fertilizer
and then grab some biodiesel. And I'll make as many of those as I can. Oh, right, and you need oxygen. Fair enough. This is
not included here.
I can help with that.
You know, I think Klei is like powered by coffee. Really, if you think about that generator.
The generator here, yeah.
We actually have mugs like that in the office.
All right, so we need that. What do we need? Peat.
Absolutely. Peat is such a cool art. Just, when we saw it, we're like, that's it. That's it.
And I'm going to pretend this made a ton of biodiesel.
Absolutely. We did that.
I blocked, of course. Get out of here.
saw some comments, people wondering about the name. They thought it was a joke. It was started as a joke. We're like,
But yeah.
And then we liked it so much, our writer was like, wait, you're serious? And we're like, yeah, we are. It's great. Totally fits the lab experimental nature.
Wait for that biodiesel to come down the pipe. Okay, B. I'm not being very nice to you. It's just a really important task right now.
We're getting close. Cycle 10.
Hey, B.
You got some time.
Hey, B. Hey, B.
Not enough.
Trained in pyrotechnics. All right. Now we'll pretend that Higby had successfully produced. Oh, I may not have to pretend. Can we actually get some ammunition here?
Yeah. Excellent. We'll need to
There we go.
power the
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
the blaster as well.
The intro. Oh no. I did a bad thing. I think I teleported it into non-existence.
We'll just print it and it didn't happen.
Yeah, that didn't happen. All right. We got some ammunition. Oh, they're in the lockers. I could have just.
Yep. It's what they were like. You solved the puzzle, Jared. There is a puzzle to solve. A little logic puzzle. With the gates hidden behind the lockers there.
I will target.
Wow, that's pretty close.
Oh, it's too.
And there's like, oh, it went.
Last stand. We're gonna need to fire faster if we're gonna.
Yeah.
'How long do we have?
0.4 cycles.
4 cycles. Maybe it might be better to.
Maybe not stand there. No. There's a volcano beside there, even. You know.
You've got a lot of these things. It's
right.
a big battery. A bunch of these and a bunch of those, and they all shoot at Demoliar.
Hmm. Will you make it?
Load the weapons! Load the cannons!
Help this.
Minister!
Those missiles are still traveling. So.
That's true. They do take a moment to.
Yeah. There you go. I like the effect on the Demoliar status over there.
Yeah.
It shakes and. We did 10 points of damage.
So it does take about 100 of these missiles to stop the Demoliar here.
I mean, Demoliar is getting larger and larger. It's not just flashing red when it gets hit. Also, our sound designer did some really cool stuff with the sound, where I think it like fades out some of the audio and it kind of changes the larger it is in the sky.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just awesome.
Well, I'm gonna speed that up, and might be resigning us to. No, now it's not. We're sleeping. Fight back. Take it down.
Okay, it's making some progress. I mean, get them out of there. Like, it's time to evacuate. Or sleep, whichever.
Yeah, it's time to go to sleep. Let's just we can pan the camera up.
Ooh, this is coming. Autosave.
Is everybody safe down here? They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
All right.
Absolutely. I take no responsibility
I've got a
for this
well-prepared base. All right, come on. Just blow us up already. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. the magma,
Yeah,
which is it's also molten metal.
that's right.
It's bad in every way.
And then, I don't know if you're seeing this here, the geysers start digging themselves up and erupting. Like,
No, 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 no.
I mean, our friend is safe there so far, right?
Dig, run! So the challenge begins now, actually. The objective here is to survive 100 cycles after this has happened.
With no dupe deaths.
With no duplicate deaths, which I think I may have failed already. Building melted. Ah! Yeah, it's pretty damaging if it gets you.
Yeah.
It's serious.
I'll tell a little story from Jared's attempt at this before. He decided to move his bedroom down lower, and then didn't realize a volcano was above the new bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was going to end poorly. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's probably a good spot to call it then.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you for watching me try and very much fail. But that's the way it is on the lab asteroid. As I said before, you do actually have 200 cycles or a tuning amount of your choice. You can turn it off completely if you prefer not to have that timer hanging over your head. And there's a bit of an overview of our new DLC, the Prehistoric Planet Pack.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for tuning in for that. What I think we'll do now is play a new trailer for you, do a little cast change. Jamie's going to come on here and tell us about our new game, Away Team. Thanks, Eric.
Yeah, thanks, everybody.
Back in a bit, folks. Hello. Hello again.
Right. Wow, I haven't been on stream in years. I don't remember the last time I was on stream.
Well, you gotta lead this one, so hope you're ready to get back into it.
I'm ready. Let's do it. Okay. Hello, everybody. I'm Jamie. I haven't seen you all in a really long time. I don't know if any of you remember me. I worked on ONI. I was one of the earlier members on ONI. And then, I went off to work on this new game, and we're going to be showing it off.
Yeah, sounds great. And you did some ONI streams back in the day, I think, right?
I think I might have done some ONI streams, yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely, yeah. Actually, between that, I also worked on Grifflands.
Oh yeah.
right?
Yep.
Yeah. And then before that was Invisible Ink and all of that. So yeah. Anyway. All right, let's do it.
All right.
Okay, this fancy setup. Press play, and then what do I press now?
Bottom right button.
Okay, this
That
one.
ought to do it. Might take a moment.
Okay,
Good stuff.
here we go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna load the beginning of a game, right? And then we're just gonna play with it for a while, and I'm just gonna describe what I've been doing, and you can ask me some questions.
Yeah, cool.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah. So this is Away Team. It's a spinoff from Auction Not Included. It's a new adventure, and you know, while we were making Auction Not Included, I had that feeling of, oh, it'd be so great if I could control a duplicate directly and then run around and explore the world, and then everything is still simulated, and now I have to survive. Like really like The Martian. Like when we were making Oni, The Martian was one of our inspirations.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I have to reuse everything and do all of that stuff, right? And of course, The Martian, it was just the one guy.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking, well, what if it really was just the one guy?
Yeah.
How does that work, right? And you can control that person and go around. So this is what it is. All right, so let's load this on. So I'm going to show the new world, and then at the end, I'm going to load a base that's a little bit more developed, and we can talk a little bit about it.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Just a we're warning, everything can change. This is definitely still in development. Names and all of this stuff, like we're all still trying to figure this game out, but we really wanted to show the game, see how people feel about it, and get some feedback. So here we go. Okay.
Congrats on the announcement, by the way. That's
Thanks.
exciting.
Yeah, it's been a minute making this game. Okay, so here we are. So our janitor has arrived, and I'm going to start grabbing some materials. So everything is simulated. All of these sand tiles, these are, we call them sand tiles. Every little tile, they're all simulated. And even when for example, I harvest a plant, you can see the wood and the chips are all coming out, and I go grab them. And so the wood chips and then also the seeds, they're all simulated, and so I can like spray them individually, right? And these are the seeds, and I'll show you planting seeds later. And I'm gonna get some of this glow goo, so I'm gonna grab some of this. So there's the seeds there. I'm gonna get some of this glow goo, which lets me see. I'm gonna craft a shovel. Right.
So you were collecting everything with that vacuum gun? or-
Yeah. So I mean, I'm a janitor, so of course I've got a vacuum,
Nice.
right?
Yeah.
So that's why I've got it. And then I'm going to use this phosphor to be able to go and explore around. So you can see a little bit more like that.
Oh, that's your light source.
Yeah, that's right.
Cool.
And then here, this is my first food source right here. This is crystallized lice.
That's very Oni.
Very, very delicious.
Yeah.
Super delicious. So you can see that they're kind of moving in there, and I'm just gonna like whack it, and they all come down, and now they're kind of bouncing about a little bit. So I'm gonna suck them up, and we can eat them later. So we'll see how that goes. All right.
Whoa, what's that?
Oh, this guy.
Yeah.
So this is a copper mite. It's just like carrying some copper around.
Oh, cool.
And so we have little creatures. There's no combat in this game. Okay, it's really about can I survive in this world? Can I use the world to my advantage, right? And we're not trying to, do Twitch movements and Twitch combat, that sort of thing. We're really, in that Oni universe of, hey, everything is simulated. You got to use that simulation to your advantage, right?
Love it.
So that's what that is. So if I go over here and then it drops the little copper, and I do this. Okay, so this here is oxylite, this from Oni, and you can actually see here like there's a bunch of oxygen that you brought along with your escape pod. So I mean, I guess you could call oxygen a little bit included. But,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So they came in, and then you can see here it's thin air, so there's no oxygen here. And so as I go in here, my oxygen bar starts to deplete.
We can see the threshold there, like just you're
Yes, that's right. And if I go over here and I shoot it, you can really see it there,
Cool.
right? And so you can see that my oxygen bar is going down. That's my hunger bar. Yeah, so I'm just gonna explore here. Now you can see this here. This is water vapor, and because I can see water vapor over here, that means that there must be water underneath, right? Right. So you can see like it's condensing, right, over time. So there's a time delay, and then it condenses. So I'm gonna go and smash down there. Start digging.
Yeah, I love that. So there's a lot of simulation going on.
Oh yeah, for sure. Actually, I'm gonna also. I really want some of the sandstone as well, because if I don't have sandstone, I can't build ladders. I really want some ladders in case I get stuck. Otherwise, I'm just gonna be digging for a long time. Right here. So I have a really crappy shovel right now, and hopefully we'll get to something better. So okay. So actually, you can see. Oh, okay. I can build a manual generator. I can build a small battery. I can build some other things. Oh, there's another copper mine. Let's go get some more copper here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if I do this, you can see the water vapor starts to rise. And that might not have been the best thing to do, but now it's going to rise and it's going to condense and the water's going to come down, so it might actually spread over into my base a little bit, right? So let's grab this. And
can I give you a question from chat?
Yeah, go for it.
Rattling My Bones is asking if there's going to be any character customization or selection.
Yeah, you'll definitely be able to select which character that you want. We're still, deciding are there any kind of benefits or anything in terms of selecting different characters. Yeah, so yes, we'll do that.
Cool.
Yeah. Oh, there's a Blorf. All the names might change. And so the creatures in this world, they're much like Oni. They convert things for you, right? And so the Blorf, you can feed it and it'll poop, and then you can use that to make fertilizer and help your life out that way. So I'm gonna craft some ladders here. I'm gonna craft 10 ladders. So I'm gonna go down here. There we go. And just suck up a bunch of water for myself for later. Oh, even more copper mines. Okay, so in the beginning, I just need to get a bunch of metal to be able to do different things with. So I'm gonna get copper and also some iron. I really need some iron as well. So there's some iron over there, I believe. Just smash over down there.
I'm noticing too, it looks like, tell me if I'm wrong, but like the resolution of each of the tiles that you're interacting with is much finer than
Yeah, that's right. Oh, here we go, I need another one. Yeah, so because you have direct control, and there's a lot more use of being small little tiles, right? Like in Oni, it's just really big tiles, right? And you're really trying to, it's more like a zoomed out view of the world, in Oni, and this is a lot more intimate.
A little tighter, more intimate, yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is that what we're really trying to do is make it so that instead of building, in Oni, you build a building and it does the conversion for you. And what we're trying to do here is a lot of the things that you want to do is you're doing it in world.
Right.
It's the world is reacting to your actions.
And you can do that because you've got a finer grained simulation, so you can have those little interactions and simulations happening in the world.
Yeah. And so all of these tiles, they are looking around and saying like, am I supposed to react with something outside of it? Right. And so there's a lot more opportunity to say like, oh, this for example, you saw in the trailer that there's fire, and that fire requires oxygen to be around in order for it to work, right? Okay, so I'm gonna smash these and grab these. So what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna start my oxygen generation stuff going on here. So I'm gonna build a manual generator here. Trusty old manual generator, and then a battery and some wires, and then I really want that's what I want, a machine depot. Yeah, so I need a bunch more iron, but let's just well, actually, you know what, I can also build the circuit depot, because then you can start building lights and stuff. Right, so in the beginning, you're running on this manual generator, just the trusty old manual generator, and over time you're going to want to generate power automatically instead of having to run on this thing all the time. So here we go.
And it seems like light and dark will play a more important role here too than you know. Like, I noticed at the beginning, like you couldn't see where you were going until you put that.
Yeah,
glow
that's
stuff
right. Yeah. Okay, so exactly, and then here you can see that you can build lights here. So first it requires power, so I'll put on this for a bit. And this is my stamina bar, so it's going down.
Oh, okay.
Right, and I'm using up some batteries here. Oh, it's charged up. I probably want another battery to be able to store more. But anyway, in the meantime, let's build a light. We're going to build some electric plates later. Go find some more copper first. And also, I really need that iron over there. Any questions over there? Oh, I think people want to know if there's co-op.
I do want to.
I've got a bunch of comments about that. I'd say that it's really hard to build multiplayer in a sim and something that's the simulated, right? We're focused right now on single player, but we hoped to do multiplayer. That's what I would say. We want to do it, but like it's really hard. That's
Yeah, I can believe that for sure.
Okay. Oh, did it build it? Yes. Okay. So take that, and let's just light up over here, so we don't always have to have the glow goo around. We'll do that, and then we're gonna build some electric wire. Here we go.
Question from Caramel Jenkins. They
Here we go.
wondering if your character grows in stats over time, stamina, speed, strength.
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really about one way to think about it is that you are your base. You're really trying to focus on how can I make it so that I'm using my base and using the world to my advantage as opposed to me getting stronger.
Right. So you'll get new buildings and structures and engineering projects that improve your abilities. But
Yes, exactly. And you're really trying to think about, how do I use what's around me to, and the reactions that's going on in the world to my advantage.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got a bunch of that. Can I build? I can build that one. Now I need more copper. Oh, there's some copper over there. Okay. Okay. Let's go here. Let's also spray some glue around. There we go. That's one of them.
So is your goal here about survival and sustainability, or is there a quest that you're pursuing?
Yeah, so I mean, you all saw that there wasn't a away team, and then they didn't end up being able to go on their mission.
In the trailer.
Yeah, that's right. And so the idea is that you are now the away team, and so you have to do the mission that they were sent here to do, right? And we're not quite talking about that just yet, of like what you're trying to do here. But your first goal, of course, is, hey, can I even survive here? So, all right, here we go. Let's get this done. I really want that right now. I really want a better. Oh no! Made a little divot. Ah! It's okay. I can fix it.
Try to flatten the.
Yeah. Flatten it. Later, I can build tiles and stuff to make it all flat. But I don't have the building right now to do it, so I'm just like trying to just flatten it out right now, and then we'll figure this out later. Okay. First this. I really want that. Oh my god! I need more of that too. Okay, so here. That.
Whoa. That's
Okay.
cool.
Let's build that. And now I really want a pickaxe. And let's build a headlamp as well.
Ah, there you go.
We'll build another pickaxe as well. How it goes. Okay. So. All right. And then eventually I really need to cook this lice in order to eat it. So I've got a food mixer as well.
Oh yeah.
Right? And you really want to be able to cook in order to do that. And then what else do I have to do? I need a source of oxygen eventually.
So you're gonna need oxygen. You're gonna need food. You've got a stamina bar up there. Are those the main survival metrics, or are there stress or any other things?
Those are the elements right now.
Okay.
Yeah. And just like in ONI, you start with oxylite, right?
Mm-hmm.
And eventually you're going to run out of oxylite, right? And so you really got to start to do other things, and as you do those other things, it causes you new problems, right? But also more fun engineering things that you got to think about. Oh, he's a little grub. You see that?
So much like Oni, not all food is delicious.
Yeah.
Is it also the case that food will spoil over time?
We don't know yet.
Oh, fair enough.
That's still working out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're still kind of figuring out what are the different where to push the player the most, you know. Yeah.
There's that water vapor coming up.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
so cool.
It's really neat, right? We really enjoy that. Also, so we do have a new temperature sim. So I'll be showing that in a bit here. Let me, well, we can show it a little bit here. So if I press, there we go. You can see,
Ooh.
whoa, that they are spreading their heat around.
Yeah.
Right.
And you are too.
You are spreading your heat around, and so every tile is simulated. You know, we're doing the thermal conductivity, the specific heat capacity of every single little tile that's in the world here. Oh, look at that! So as these buildings are going, it's really spitting out the heat over time. And if you're trying to grow plants and things like that, it's gonna they need a proper temperature to do so, right? And so if you don't do that well, it's gonna be a problem. Okay, so I'm gonna actually, so I've got a bunch of dirt. Man, I really want the other building. I need the other building, so I'm gonna try to get that other building done. So I'm gonna build a farm. That's kind of my next thing. Oh, it's really dark now. Okay. Are you building? Oh. Okay. These electric plates I'm building in order to make more oxygen. So as I smash these, oxygen gets released, but it's gonna run out, right? But I do get oxy rock left over. And in this world, what happens is that as you if you electrolyze your oxy rock rather, it spits out oxygen.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So you need those electrical plates to electrolyze.
Yes, exactly. And again, like in Oni, it would be like, oh, here's a building. If you supply the thing, it will do the thing, right? And in this case, you know, it's all in the sim. So let me show you here. I'll just
Very neat.
right here. Okay, so I think it's I'm building a bunch of them, 4 of them. Okay. So here we go. 1, 2.
Lido is asking, and this seems fitting, did your experience developing Oxygen Not Included help with developing the simulation for the team?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, a lot of developing Oni was, you know, how are we going to make... For a long time when we developed Oni, and you were there, you know, it was a simulation, but not a game, right? And it's like, well, how are we supposed to make this actually interesting, right? It was so hard to control anything. And so definitely building Oni helped me kind of figure out, okay, what kind of things make it so that people can understand how the sim is working, and then how do we... And this time it's even harder, and we're still trying to figure it out because, you know, we don't have a building here to tell you, hey, you put Aussie Rock in here and it works, right?
Right.
And now it's like in the world. So okay, I'm gonna hook this up. Yeah. Once again.
Yeah, like this engineering project, this spell you're casting right now is it's quite nuanced. Like you have to learn this and teach that.
That's right. That's right. Okay, here we go. I got it running on light. I'll take these. I'm gonna hook this up. Oh man. Okay, I need more. Really should get a light switch. Doesn't like it.
I noticed too, your wires are much more freeform than they are in Oni.
Yes, I'm sure that people are looking at this and just loving how... Oh no! I'm starting to suffocate. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna put all that in there. Okay. Okay, so I dumped all that oxy rock in there. It should actually be going. Is it going? Is it going? Are they too far apart? I might have gone too far apart. Oh, I think I made it too far apart. There's options.
The current is going to run between the two electrical plates through the auxiliary.
There you go. There you go. See, oh, it's literally one tile.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. There you go. Okay, and good. Yes, I know you can't breathe. Okay. There you go.
The oxygen mine.
So there's quite a lot of oxygen to get you started, but then you're gonna need more and more of it, especially as you start to say like, oh, I want to start fires and things like that.
Right, because that would consume your oxygen.
It will consume your oxygen, and so you're really gonna need to do this. And so I'm gonna build that, and then it should build quite a lot of it. The problem is that if I sit here for a while, then, I don't know. I should get electrocuted. I am not. Oh no! Is it working? Did it even connect it? It is connected. Yes, it's connected. Yes, it's working. Okay, here we go. Building. Oh, okay, so I need the raw iron. And, oh, I had the headlamp. Let me go get the headlamp. There you go. There you go. Look at that. There. Get it?
You mentioned starting fires earlier. I can imagine doing that for power, maybe for temperature. What kind of things would motivate you to start fires in your base?
Yeah, I mean, power for sure, right? Cooking, right?
Cool.
And then there are other biomes out there, and they have different temperatures, right? And so you're gonna want to manipulate the temperature,
Right.
And maybe you want to make it hotter, maybe you want to make it colder. I don't know, right? You either have to. If you want to boil things, right? You're gonna need to do that. Oh, and we did do an upgrade for the temperature, which is that we do have we do more than just temperature. We calculate the enthalpy, right? And so the water has the latent heat, and so it doesn't turn into steam exactly at 100 degrees anymore, right? It needs to continue boiling for a while and keep on consuming the energy, and then it turns into steam. All right, here we go. This guy here. Oh man, I really want a power hub. That allows you to connect more wires. This is why it's all like this.
Oh, yeah.
Right now I'm using my my small battery as a power hub, right? But it's way
how
better.
many connections you can make from that.
Not really yet. There probably will be. Yeah. Also, I'm again running out of power here. So I would like to move into the heat turbine, which consumes flames and makes power, right? Okay, here we go. So now I can make some brick tiles, I can make some storage, I can do some other things like that. Girders, I really want some girders. So let's just make some tiles and craft some girders and maybe more tiles and maybe a storage cabinet to start storing our things. And all right, what else do I need to do? I need to start cooking. So make a food container. Oh my god, I still need more. Go.
You anticipate having a like a tech tree or some kind of research progression?
Right now, we believe we will. Right. Right now, we're focused on, hey, can we make it so that it's more natural. You're just kind of like, oh, this is the next thing I need to do. This is the next thing I need to do, right? But part of teaching players how to play and then getting them along is a research tree. I mean, that's a large part of what ONI is doing, is teaching you what's coming. If I just gave you all the building right from the get-go, it would just be way too much, right? And so yeah, we're definitely still thinking about that one.
Makes sense.
So that, and then I want to build some heat plates, start cooking some lice, and then we can eat.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That says physics classes using ONI for its temperature sim, or its temperature sim would rule.
Sorry, what is that?
Physics classes. Like
Oh, physics classes. That's right. Yeah. I totally agree. Yeah,
Love
totally. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna. Where is it? Okay, I'm gonna put a light here. Oh, okay. Yes, I know you're. And then I'm going to hub. Yes, hub here. The hub with that. There you go. There we go. Okay. So I'm just gonna deconstruct this to give myself more room. That was the crash pod that I came in with.
Can you remind us again, the meters at the top left, you've got food, or hunger, and stamina.
Oh, this last one is climate control. So if I'm in a place that is not a good temperature for me, that starts to go down, right? And then if it's really low, then I start to lose health, which replenishes right away. It's not, we're not trying to make a game that's like, where your health is a real problem. It's more about, hey, are you in a situation that works? See, just now I just got hurt actually because I was electrocuted, and then my health came back.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, exactly. And so, ow! So I should be making these things here, grates, to put on top of that, right? Because if I do that, then I can walk on top of it and I wouldn't get electrocuted, right? So I can just craft 10 of those, and I can take a bunch of these, and now I can say like, I mean, I'd probably make it a little bit nicer if I wasn't playing. Oh no! There we go.
Leofar is asking, do cycles play a role? I guess they mean cycles in the sense of like days.
Days, yeah. At the moment, it does not. It may. Right now, it doesn't. Oh, we really should eat something. Okay, good thing I have some survival rations to start. So I'm just gonna eat some survival ration there. And then I'm gonna build a... Did I build a food mixer already? No, I don't think so. I need to take some girders. I'm gonna build a second layer to my base here. Here. And build another 3. Spent on 2 runs. Oh, I put that in the wrong spot. And I don't have to win as much here. And on here, now you can see that it's going to charge both batteries.
Oh, yeah.
Food mixer. And then we need to build some hot plates, which I need more iron for. Oh, this thing's fun. You build a glow grenade.
Glow grenade?
Yeah, it like shoots out. Oh gosh, I really need those grenades. It's over here.
Save you from yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Searching. Oh,
Are there different biomes? Looks like there are, eh?
yes, there's definitely different biomes. Yes. This is definitely the one that we've worked on the most right now, right? Obviously. Oh, more nice. Yum. That. So these are wart pods. These are a growable food source. And then you also have to cook them in order to survive. So I can grab some of that. I should build a farm. Oh, you can see that. Did you see that it just crumbled just now? So like, there are certain kind of substances that if you hit it,
Oh, yeah.
it kind of crumbles around it.
Are your buildings vulnerable in that way too? Like those ladders, if you were to split them in the middle.
Yes, there is what's it called? Structural integrity.
Yeah.
Right. You can't just put a ladder in the middle of nowhere, right? It's
that kind of engineering too.
yeah, it's not super. I mean, we're kind of permissive on it because really, like, people want to be able to build their base, right? They don't want to think too hard about the structural integrity, but there is a structural integrity, so you can't just like build whatever. Like, if I start doing like all the way out here, like some of this is.
Well,
Oh, there it is. Unstable. See, these ones are gonna just start dropping.
that's neat.
And then if I put some girders here, then it'll be alright.
Yeah.
There. See. I'll put a girder.
Wait,
Yeah.
oh, there's so many things you can do with
There's
that.
really quite a lot of stuff we can go about. Oh, great. Okay, so now I don't have to get hurt anymore. I'll put this here. I really should have thought this ahead. And now I have to jump every time to go over here. And I just built it one lower, and then I wouldn't have to jump every single time. I really want to build a farm.
That's how it goes.
That is how it goes, but next time I can do it better, right? Like that's how we think about it. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna build a farm here. All right, let's do this. So I'm gonna dig out a little divot over here. Okay, I think it's good. I'm gonna take some dirt. I'm gonna pour the dirt on. And then I'm going to plant the seeds. So let's do the plastic bark, which is the for our wood. Okay. And I'm gonna spray them on like that. Okay. And then it starts planting, and it turns into soil. The seeds turn.
So those seeds were tiles, though. That's
Yes, exactly.
Very neat.
Exactly. So here we go. I'm gonna build some more, and now they've become little seedlings, and they need water now. And so I had grabbed water earlier, right? So I can just grab this. Let's clean this up a little bit. Here we go. And then I'm going to pour a little bit of water on it. There we go.
Now I can't help but imagine, like, thinking, how do I automate that?
Yes,
Is it going to become a system?
exactly. So you can definitely automate it either using pumps and whatever, or maybe you want to use a sim and kind of think about how does the water move around the world. Can I make it so that it kind of does it by itself? You know, that sort of thing. And so there's definitely different things that you can go about, different methods of automation in that way. All right, so that was that part. We still haven't started cooking yet, so I should do that. Build another ladder here. Yep, do that. And then food mixer. Oh, I did build a food mixer. Great.
Yeah, it says, who do we blame now when our dupes get stuck behind walls?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we did make it so that if you don't have a digger, you can still.
Oh,
right? Because otherwise you could totally get stuck and like, oh.
I have to ask, did that happen in development?
Yeah. Someone fell down a hole and they're like, well, what do I do now? Right? We're like, yes, good point. Okay, so we can start to build some things here. Okay, we need roasted lice, I think. Okay, but you can also build not roasted lice. The roasted lice is more efficient. So that's kind of what we want. Yes, exactly. Or you can make wart soup, but we want to build this one, and I need to first of all I need to give this thing power as well. Okay, so I can build that, but it would be nice if I can create some hot plates here. Let's do that. Only two.
You're gonna cook on that?
Yeah, and then I'm gonna make a power switch to be able to turn on and off the cooking, right? And I really want some more. Oh, actually, hold on. There's the. I've definitely built the bombs, the glow bombs. There it is. Okay, so let's stay here.
Nice.
Yeah. So the stone is a lot harder to smack the dirt, right? So I'm just kind of gonna go around the stone so that I can get to the iron faster. So later on, there's not just raw iron sitting around. There's going to be iron ore and things like that. And so you're going to have to figure out, well, how am I going to purify this stuff? There's also, you know, just like in ONI, there's impure water, right? Contaminated water, right? So what are you going to do about that? How are you going to get normal water back?
So player might want to build like a smelter or a boiler or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, boiler or some kind of way to filter their water, you know, that sort of thing, right?
Cool.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. And maybe we can just, you know what? The other thing that I really need to do is build a door because I keep leaking all my oxygen, right? So that's something that we really should think about. I think it was here. Yeah. Take that. And then take these. Okay. 2 should be enough. Okay, so we can just start cooking here. Let's figure it out.
You can see there's lots of engineering projects that come out of the more advanced simulation. Are there particular ones that you're really excited about? Parts of the simulation that...
Yeah, I think that, for example, having the oxygen required for fire is just a really cool thing. You know, we've always wanted to do fire in ONI, and it's just like, how do we get around doing it? And a lot of it is because in ONI, everything is inside a building. It's not really simulated in the world, and so there's this one thing that's simulated in the world. If you put fire in the game, it's kind of challenging, right? And so I'm quite excited about that. It's felt really good for me to build a fire in the world.
Yeah.
Not that it doesn't have its problems. It's still fire, which means like there's still, you know, it's still pretty destructive, right? And there's different problems with it. Okay, I'm hungry. Okay, let's eat this. Okay, and then I'm going to build a switch to turn it on and off. And then I'm going to make it connected. And then I'm going to connect this to, sure, why not just this thing? Okay. And then, you know what's going to happen? The lice is going to jump all over the place. But let's just find out.
When you cook it?
No, it just...
Oh, because they're alive.
It's jump! Right. Oh! Yeah, okay, it is cooking.
Wow.
It is cooking, right? So you can see it's all
Hot
warm.
lice.
Hot lice, yum. Right? Okay, so I'm gonna just like build some stuff up here to try to trap them in. Oh man, I did this poorly. Planned poorly.
Now they live in the corners of your kitchen.
Okay, there we go. What could possibly go wrong? Here we go. Okay, hot lice. And then eventually it become cooked lice. And I just gotta wait for it not to happen.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. Okay, and then after this, I'm gonna load my other save. And we can see some of the other stuff. Because I just don't have enough time to build all the things here. Come on. Oh, it's... Yeah, I got some.
Could you burn them too? You wouldn't.
So you could, for example, yeah, you don't have to use a hot plate. This hot plate is just like, it gets to 90 degrees, right? But if you made a fire, you could just do that, right? If you just had a warm area, you might be able to cook it from there, right? They're not exactly resistant to heat, right? So.
Question from chat. Do you have a mass in OA team? And I guess they're asking in the sense of...
that's right.
Kilograms.
Yeah. There's a density, not so much mass, but there's a density. So like you can see this is 0.1 density, right? And so that's, you know, it's kind of the same thing, but not that certain elements are heavier than others. That's not exactly how that works. Yeah, so it's not exactly the same thing, but it has some of the same.
Yeah, slightly different abstractions. And
exactly. That's always the case, isn't it? When you're making a simulation, it's like, well, you can't do everything.
You wouldn't even want to necessarily.
Right, exactly. And now we can start with that thing. All right. So let's we'll save that. I don't know. Let's quit to the main menu. Oh wait. What do I save? Yeah, let's just save over here. Okay. No worries. And then we'll quit to the main. Oh, I can just load it from here. So I'm going to load this one. So this is cycle 19.
Mm-hmm.
So I played for a fair bit longer for this one. All right.
Whoa.
So this is my base that I've played for a while. And you can see here that what I've done is there's wood chips, and it is actually I can just press F7 and then pause this again. And it is reacting with the oxygen that's coming from here. So I could have built a pipe. So I've done this several times, right? And one of the things you could do is build a centralized oxygen generation and then pipe it to the different places that you want, right? In this case, I've tried to use the simulation to do it instead. I said, okay, I'm just going to put it in a central place and put it below my base and try to let it go up through different places, right? And so it goes over here, and then I lit the wood chips on fire, and it creates this ember. So the ember itself is not yet fire. It's like, well, it's an ember, right? And then the ember reacts with oxygen in order to create a fire, right? And so if there was no oxygen here, you would just see an ember and no fire would be created, right? And then the fire are also particles. The fire, these are flame particles. It's a one density, 110 degrees, and it goes up, and then it hits the heat turbine, which is kind of a poor man's steam engine.
That's your power generator.
That's my power generation right now, and it takes these the flames and converts them into smoke or CO2. You know, like it creates those things. Oh, and as I was moving about, I didn't even talk about that. I'm consuming oxygen and I'm exhaling CO2.
Of course. Yeah,
of course, right? And the CO2 drops, and in this case this will now create more CO2, right? So in ONI, you have lots of different dupes, and that just starts to scale the amount of CO2, right? And here, this is how we're scaling
it's the building,
right? The building that's doing it, and then as it turns into smoke, you can see actually there's a bunch of soot going on here, and that had happened before I built this gas pump. Okay, and what happened is that the smoke hits the ceiling, and it turns into ash, but sometimes it will turn into soot that gets stuck up here, right? And over time, this gets all gucked up, and then it stops working. This whole thing stops working.
Yeah.
Right? And so what I've done is I wanted a bigger space to deal with this thing, and somewhere where I can just collect my ash. And actually, you can see here that I had like this little ash collection area here for a little bit, and I was like, oh, this is totally not enough, right? And so I just sealed that up and said, like, I'll worry about it later.
Yeah.
Right. And then I created a gas pump that only takes smoke. And if I take a look at the pipe view, you can see all the smoke that's going through.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And so if I do this, the smoke is going into here, and you can see that the soot is happening over here now.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And so I'm going to have to deal with that eventually as well, right? And so we'll close that. And then if we look at the temperature view, you can see that's really hot here. It's kind of warm over here, and this whole base is starting to.
What's that above your batteries there? What's that structure?
Oh yeah, so this is the pipe building. So this is where I build pipes. It's really cool. I love the animation for this thing. So. yeah. So that's what's going on. And so I built a whole bunch of batteries because this thing generates way more power. And in fact, I could probably build even more batteries for this thing. The problem is that batteries generate heat and lose charge over time, right? So really what I want to do is upgrade my batteries. So I'm going to need something better, right? I've also created a water storage area over here. And these are my farms. And really, my next step was to build a pump to pump this water up here. Okay.
For the farm.
For the farm, and then it will dribble over here and then dribble down here and then water both
So
sides,
cool.
right? Although I'm gonna have to get rid of this lip. I can see right now, like it's gonna be a problem.
And even in your water basin there, like, is that water vapor collecting on the ceiling and then raining back
Yes,
down?
exactly. So I had to figure that out. So if I didn't build a ceiling like this, if I just like put a ceiling over here, you would actually have all the water vapor over here. And when I open the door, like
Oh, funny.
all the water vapor would start coming in,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so I needed to kind of think about it. And so if I pour a lot more water in here, I'd still have that problem, right? So it's something to think about.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah, and then I've got some gross water going on over here, and I think I did something to make the contaminated water. I don't exactly know what. Oh, I need to eat. Where's my food? Oh, here. Oh, I have spicy wort soup. I had made some chili oil some earlier, and that lets me go into some colder places.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Which I will not show today, but yeah.
The food give you
Yeah,
power to do stuff.
exactly. Yeah.
Comment here from chat. This looks like a lot of restarting would be in order, which is something we do a lot in ONI. We encourage people to restart. Do you see that in this game as well? Like you try and then you restart.
For sure, you know, I noticed that, you know, I restart all the time because I'm like, even earlier when I was playing, I'm like, oh, I could have done that better, right? I really want to try something different. And there's like a lot of different solutions to the same problem, so you really want to figure out what you want to do. Yeah, and I've got this blorf in this, and I was going to use this later, but anyway, you can kind of suck it up, okay, and then move it somewhere else, right? And so, you know, animal husbandry is something that we're definitely working on.
Yeah. Neat.
Yeah. There you go. Oh, we should shut that door. It's not good.
Commander Corbin asks, will you be able to tidy the wires for the player's sim?
Why would you want to do that? I think it looks I think it'd be awesome, you know? I don't think anything needs to be done. Oh, we should look at the dig ray. Check this out. Okay, so this one, it uses a lot more energy, okay? And it kind of connects to the closest hub, right?
Oh, cool.
Connects to the closest hub, and then it uses your energy, right? And so something that you can do is, you know, when the soot was all dumped up here, I was like spraying.
There it is. That's the dig gun.
Yeah, that's the dig gun, exactly, right?
I love that with the big electrical cable too.
The other way that you can do it to clear the soot. Let me try to do this. Is you can spray it with water, right? So you can clean it, right? So let me do that.
Little Mario Sunshine going on here.
Yeah, exactly. You can't fly with it though. Oh,
Say never. It'd be a cool jetpack item.
it's true. Okay, here we go. And then I don't know. This is what I actually want to do, but here we go anyway. Oh, I think I can change. Yeah, I can change the size of it, right?
Oh, cool.
Right. I just want one. I just need to spray it all. Ugh. Oh, I just ran out. Okay. Anyway, I sprayed a bunch of water and I extinguished my flame as well at the same time. So probably not the best thing for me to do. But, oh, there you go. And then
Cool.
again.
And that's just because the temperature simulation is running in the background and making that stuff happen.
No, that was.
reignited.
And so what happened was there were some embers, and I had put wet ash on top of it, and that stopped the embers from finding any oxygen.
Right.
Right. And so then it couldn't ignite.
Right.
And so those are the kinds of things that we're talking about in terms of like how this system reacts and you being able to use it in different ways to suck up. And then you can use, for example, you can use the water to put out the fire, to actually put out the embers.
Right.
So
Lowers its temperature, but also restricts the oxygen.
I mean, this one is there's a tile reaction to it.
So
Right, there you go.
You have a general. It seems like almost a chemistry, like two tiles next to each other.
Yes, exactly. So we define different things where, oh, this reacts with this kind of thing. So an example is that the seeds react with dirt, right, to make to make a seedling and turn that dirt into soil, right? And then if you add water to dry soil, it reacts with the soil, right? In order to turn it into wet soil.
Wet soil,
right?
Yeah.
So it's not it's not like an entity kind of thing. It's a tile to tile sim, right?
That's cool. That sounds really powerful.
Yeah, it's quite different. I mean, obviously, games like Noida did that, and part of it, the thing was like, we did play Noida, and it's such an awesome game. Did you play Noida?
Oh, yeah.
But every time you play it, the whole world gets destroyed, right? Like immediately, everything's on fire, everything's blowing up, right? And that's really cool. And the question was, could you make that into something that where you can really use that sim over a long period of time and control that sim? And to be fair, this was really for a while. I'm like, can we do this? I don't know. This is the answer. Yeah, exactly. Right. So this was a lot of different iterations of trying to get this right, and it seems to be working now. There's still a lot of things to figure out. We really want to make it so that you can, there's things like the problems that we've had is, for example, you would use up all the oxygen here, and this oxygen wouldn't come down because in the normal world, there's pressure, right? And the other air would get sucked in, and that's how a fire can keep sucking in more oxygen, right? We don't simulate pressure because that's just, again, a huge amount, right? But we do have convection, some convection, right? And so the warmer substances do rise, right? And we made certain types of substances rise more in order to like shove the gases around, right? And then to displace things around, and then it starts to come around. And the other things is like, we had things like, if you are burning up oxygen and it turns into smoke, and then the smoke turns into ash, the ash just falls right back down onto your fire and then puts it out immediately, right?
Yeah.
And so we had to like figure out different solutions around that so that we're still simulating, but it's not, it's not impossible. It's not like, in order for me to be able to build a fire, I have to build like this curved chimney, because that's what you used to have to do, right? Yeah. Because you have to get the ash immediately out, right? And we need to kind of step ladder the problems. So, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that's super neat, and I can imagine as a designer wanting to like build a simulation that is going to deliver on the expectations and the intuitions people have with the real world.
Yes.
But you're not actually trying to like
every little thing was real world. Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, what's the amount of steps that we want them to players to have to understand before they can do anything? Like imagine that you're just like stuck on a actually stuck on a planet. Like you can't build a battery, right? So yeah. So there we go. I think that's about it. I don't know. Is there anything else that we're
getting close in time? I mean, super neat, man. Thanks for showing it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Here we go. I'm just gonna finish up cleaning up my base here. Yeah. So one of the things that's going on here is that, this seems pretty sustainable, but eventually I'm going to run out of water, right? That's definitely something I'm going to run out of. The other thing is I'm going to run out of oxalate, right?
Yes.
All right. So those are the two things that I know that's happening eventually, right?
I need to find
and the other thing is that eventually I'm going to run out. Right now, we're pretty permissive about the seeds, but we really want to make it so that you need to fertilize and figure out how to do that, right? And so we're working on things like that. And so, there's still going to be, we're trying to figure out, in this base, I'm going to have to figure out, okay, how am I going to have sustainable food? How my water's going to run out, my oxygen's going to run out, right? Like it's going to take a while, but then there's going to be new sources and and they're going to come up with new complications. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very neat. Shall we call it there?
I think so. Just spray this on. Just want some. Here.
Nice. Well, I'll throw us back to Cam Oni there. And it sounds like we're going to be rating Brialee's channel. They're playing Don't Starve Together.
Oh, nice.
So, thanks for tuning in, folks, and we'll send you that way.
Thanks very much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. What do I press?
Let's go for outro.